What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Void Marauders. It just went into early access for about $10 on sale on Steam this week, and it's a game where you run a cadre of space pirates. What it reminded me of, I played the first little bit of it just to kind of take a look and get familiar with things. What it reminded me of is XCOM or like Phoenix Point, if you've ever played any of those types of game. But looking at the roadmap for the title, it does look like the developer has big plans for like features that are going to be admitted. Everything from space battles to dynamic rival pirate gangs and things like that that are going to be messing with you. But in a nutshell, this is a game where you are in a stolen prison ship. I don't know if you, like, rebelled and you, like, overthrew the warden or what it is, but you're flying a prison ship around and it's full of pirates. And then you find people and you rob them and then you sell their stuff for money. You level up, you get upgrades. And basically it has a combat system that's nearly identical if you've ever played XCOM. So we're going to dive on in today. We're going to take a look at it for about 25-30 minutes and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this you did indeed want to get the game, just be forewarned, it is in very, very early access right now. The features are limited. It says that right there on the screen, in fact, and I would recommend you pay attention to that. But if you do check it out, the link is down below for you in the description. On top of that, you can also take a look at my Discord and my Twitch stream where I frequently follow up on games that I've covered on the channel over the course of the last week in long-form format. Or sometimes we just play random stuff. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and start a new game. We've got one start right now. Later on, there's going to be different factions you can start out as. So basically, the pirate captain is the starting one that we have for the moment. Later on, you'll be able to be a Terran captain, or you'll be able to be a nomad captain. These guys will all have different alliances, and they will have different reputations with different groups throughout the galaxy that will change the way that you interact on stations and resupply and stuff like that. But for right now, the pirate captain is pretty much all we have to go with. I don't know what I want to name. We're going to name this the Merovingian. There we go. That's a good name for it. That's a solid name for a ship right there. So we are playing as a pirate in a quest to unite warring pirate factions. To do that, you will capture the mysterious ship known as the Omen. Little typo right there. The only thing that will make you powerful and notorious enough to become the king of the pirates. You start with a former prison ship that has been heavily modified with an improvised breaching pod and a railgun. Some of its former prisoners are still in the ship as crew and soldiers. Okay, so we cannot enter faction stations. We can only go into pirate layers and neutral stations. We start with extra soldiers, and we have cheap raiders. We have no special modules or weapons. All right, sounds good. I think I'm going to leave the tutorial on just in case I forgot anything, but we're probably mostly going to be skipping through it just to, like, maintain some kind of forward momentum. Hostis humani generis. With these old Terran words, the rulers of the hegemony have branded us enemies of mankind and condemned us all to imminent destruction. But not everything is lost. We are the members of the guild. We are pirates and reavers, killers and pillagers, and we are legion. We only need a leader, a king, and we will become unstoppable. But who among us can command such respect and fear? Only the captain of the Omen. An old, mysterious, powerful ship. It is said that the Omen appears every time the galaxy is in turmoil. Its mission unknown, but its power undeniable. Alright, so here we are on the galaxy map. Our ship just teleported on in. We have arrived in Derelict, Captain. The system has always been considered a safe haven for pirates. We should grab what we can and leave before the hegemony forces arrive to change that. Okay, sounds good. So anyways, we can click around, and basically we're going to be taking a look at just points of interest throughout the galaxy. The game's a little bit more sandboxy in the way that allows you to move around. It does seem like it's going to have an overworld map. It's kind of hard to guess with regards to the trajectory of this game where it's going to be going. But given the fact that the game has kind of an open world map on the in-between of fights, I think that actually leaves a lot of wiggle room for interesting things they can do with kind of planetary interactions and like factions kind of going to war with each other and messing with each other. And it's something I'd like to see explored further. Let's go to this distress beacon over here. The ship has been destroyed, but is still sending an automated distress signal. There is very little to salvage. Okay, grab what we can. We got 1 supplies and 5 holopads. As far as I can tell, none of this stuff actually gets used. I think you just take it and vendor it when you get to stations in order to make money. What's next? There's another signal nearby that we can explore. Okay, cool. Sounds good. We'll skip on over that. I'm going to go for this signal over here because, like, I don't follow the rules the way that I'm supposed to. We'll end our turn real fast, and we'll check out this signal. We found the source of a signal. It's not a ship, but it's a malfunctioning comms beacon running through an idol and repeating the same message over and over. What does it say? Hear me, reavers and corsairs. Hear me, men, spawns, and witches. The time has come. The omen has arrived, and as all the guild knows, this vessel brings an era of carnage and chaos, but of opportunity. Worry not, brothers and sisters, because the Void has already picked a champion that will capture the legendary ship and unite us all, Ka-Narath the Pillager. Glory to Ka-Narath. May his enemies be returned to the Void, and his allies showered with riches. What a waste of time. Let's keep moving. All right, so apparently we've got like the PR department of some other pirate firm just kind of tooting their own horn over here. Distress beacon, what are you doing? All right, so cargo vessel detected. Their drive is damaged because they're trying to escape using only sublights. All right, cool. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and raid them. We'll go ahead and steal their stuff. So this is our team right here. The one problem that I have noticed with the game is I'd like them to introduce inside the options menu. The options menu is very Spartan right now. There's not a whole lot of things that you can use it for. But that having been said, I've noticed that for some of the menus and some of like the display areas, the contrast seems to be very, very high. And so anyways, I'd like the ability to actually manually adjust the brightness and the contrast to get things into a little bit more pleasing to the eye relief when it comes to playing the game. You'll probably notice that as well. In the after, I'll probably touch this up in post just to brighten it up a little bit, so you may not notice the contrast difference. But if you go to the Steam page and you take a look at some of the screenshots and whatnot, you'll notice kind of what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of the aspects of the game seem to be really high contrast for some reason, and I think they could probably ease up on that by about 10, 15 points of contrast in order to get it looking cleaner. But for right now, we've got Luciano Mercator, who is a mercenary. We have Drusus the Red, who is a raider. We have Eric Kin, who is a human mercenary. And we have Joe Soul, who is a human raider. We can replace these guys if we desire to do so. We do have people on standby just in case people get wounded. For right now, we'll just run with the defaults that they gave us and start the mission up. You're also able to edit these loadouts, although for right now, it's a little bit limited. And so you do have traits, you do have skills. Some of these things are in, some of these things are not in as of right now. Every single crew member has a loyalty to you. I haven't really gotten far enough on into the game to see how that's going to factor in with future mechanics, but it does seem to go up and go down based on the decisions that you make in like random events and stuff that come up. You do have equipment over here. For right now, it looks like you have a primary, a secondary, and a belt item. And then over here, we can swap up their name, and you can customize a little bit. There's not a ton of customization on in the game, but I would recommend. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's coming. But anyways, a lot more customization goes a long way. Because after all, like the thing that you got to keep in mind when you're developing a game like this that's so highly inspired by like XCOM Enemy Unknown and Phoenix Point and all those types of titles is that you are in competition. Effectively, your game is going to be ruthlessly compared to those other titles, and if they've got a lot of customization, people are going to notice your lack of customization. If they've got a feature, people are going to notice the lack of that feature. And so it's like one of those things where you definitely got to hit those things running. All right, so the game is basically XCOM. That's all you need to know about it. There's high cover, there's low cover, you've got hit chances while you're shooting around, there's lots of dice rolls. Let's go ahead and move our guys on up into this first little cover right here. And then we will have them. I don't know if I should keep pushing up and forward. Yeah, it might have been a mistake. This guy's been surprised. So this game doesn't follow the system that's been standardized over in the XCOM world where they get a scramble turn. Your enemies in this game, when you come into a map, they are either on alert or they are surprised. So if the enemy, through a series of decisions that you made prior to combat, is unaware of your existence on their ship, they will be surprised. That means they will just stand there like a dummy out of cover when you discover them and they don't get a scramble turn. However, if you messed up like your dialogue options or whatever prior to the fight, they will be aware of the fact that you're attacking. They'll be on high alert, and then when you uncover them from the fog of war, they will do the same thing that happens in like XCOM Enemy Unknown, and they'll get basically a free movement to get behind cover. For right now, we do need to handle this guy. I don't know how our range is looking. We've got an 82% chance from right here. I do like the detail that like a lot of other games actually haven't mastered this, but your character does lock into cover, and they do swing out and around cover, which actually gives you a fairly wide field of view. Like, even from this cover right here, it seems to be fairly precise. You would be able to fire kind of over in that direction based on the angles if you wanted to. Let's take a shot at him. First shot was a big ol' miss. That's not ideal. I wish that the first shot was not a big ol' miss. He does have line of sight right here. Like I said, swinging out of cover, you do actually have a pretty decent line of sight. And actually, he rolled a 5 crit right there and killed the guy. So a bunch of blood all over the ground. Let's go ahead and move people around. Now that I know that there's enemies over there, I'm actually going to have this guy fall back to this cover just in case, because yellow moving into the unknown worries me as a longtime XCOM player. Yellow moving can be kind of a horrifying experience. Let's try to only yellow move if it gets us into full cover for right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about with yellow moves basically mean you use both your AP for movement. It comes from XCOM Enemy Unknown, where your first move is blue and your second move is yellow. And it's one of those things you try not to do. Yellow moves tend to be kind of a desperate move that you only do when you absolutely have to kind of minimize damage. But otherwise, you kind of just ignore that feature. There we go. So he hears something. That means we're getting close to the enemy. I don't know if this is going to count as high cover. Is that high cover? No, that's low cover. Okay. We have no enemies discovered yet. So I think if we move everybody up parallel, we should be all right. So let's go ahead and just kind of move people up slowly. I am happy with the run animations. I think they look really good. I think the in-cover animations also look pretty good. Like, the important thing to remember here is that this is a very, very small development operation. And so the fact that they've got a lot of the animations looking really smooth and polished is actually laudable. Like, those are things that take a lot of time with, like, rigging and setup and stuff like that, it's kind of a headache and a pain. And so they tend to get kind of, you know, sidelined in favor of more consumer-facing features, I guess. We've got a drone over here. And in fact, he was aware of the fact that we were coming. But from right here, I think we should have an angle on him. Yeah, we do, in fact. So there you go. In XCOM, you have to be, like, perpendicular in order to get the flanking shot a lot of the time. This game actually does a really, really good job with calculating angles and whether or not there's obstructions in between and deciding whether or not the cover counts. That's actually, when I was test playing the game, what impressed me the most is that I assumed it was going to go by standardized kind of XCOM rules where you have to be completely perpendicular to the enemy's cover in order to get the yellow bonus. But in this game, it actually, I think, just draws a line between your gun and their character. And if it's unobstructed, they lose, like, all of their cover bonus, basically. 3 damage right there. The drone is down. All right. I'm going to move up pretty aggressively right here because we know that there's no enemies left. We've reached the end of the room. The way that you win in this game is by attacking the bridge. So every ship you board, you have to get to the bridge, basically, in order to incapacitate it and steal their loot. And so that's the bridge door right there. I think it's standardized. I think the bridge door more or less looks the same on most ships, just so that you know and that there's no confusion about, like, where it is you're supposed to be going. However, there are going to be enemies on the other side of the bridge door that we're going to have to neutralize. So we'll get ready for that. It'll probably be a turn or two before we actually get the chance to go in on them. I do wish that there was a little bit of cover over here. There is not. And so I think we're just going to have to figure this out by... I'll actually probably leave these guys out of cover and just sort of pray that the enemy doesn't get a scramble turn. It does look like this little lip of the door right here provides half cover. That's not ideal, but I'll take it.
Watch out.
All right, boys, crack that door open. Very good sound design on the door right there. It sounded really, really nice. I liked it. We can't really see through the door too well. There we go. I wanted to take out the guy that's out of cover. Very nice. 2 damage right there. I believe he has no line of sight. And so let's kind of see what happens here. Yeah, it worked all right. I do want to test out the rocket launcher. Like, don't we have rocket launchers available? Yeah, we should launch a rocket. Let's see what launching a rocket looks like, even if it, like, overexposes us. Oh, it looks like launching a rocket takes your whole turn. Okay. Unfortunate, he's in cover, so I can't really hit him from right there. Miscalculated that. I didn't expect that a drone would get a cover bonus. We're going to go ahead and flank that real fast. going to move over to here. Let's just play it aggressive. Somebody's getting shot on this turn no matter what we do. So we might as well make them earn it. Like, somebody's getting shot regardless. Oh, I can throw a dagger? Yeah, do that. Ah, we only got the 1 damage right there. Bummer. Well, we were close. I mean, could have been... Oh, he's still got a shot left. Never mind. Well, there you go. I thought we were taking damage here no matter what, so I got hyper-aggressive. Drusus the Red has leveled up, and Joe Soul has also leveled up. We looted 1 supply and 9 holo pads from the ship, along with $95. Space bucks. All right, so we've got our loot right there, and now what we need to do is we need to go to a station. There's a pirate lair that's over here on this asteroid, so I'll probably go for it. There's a distress beacon over here. What's up with the distress beacon? Ship is destroyed, but it's sending out a signal. There's very little salvage. All right, well, we got 7 holo pads, 3 supplies, 1 cargo container. I'll take it. We do have to pay our crew, by the way. Like, every single day that we're bypassing right now, I forget exactly where it's listed at, but we are passing days with each of our turns, and you do have to pay your crew, like, every X amount of days, which is kind of the onus that keeps you moving forward, I guess. We do have some level up, so let's go to Drusus the Red. We'll get him all nice and locked in. There's a limited skill tree at the moment. There's not a ton of stuff to play around with inside of here, but throwing a dagger seems like a really, really good plan. So actually, let's reset it. Basic training gives us 5% accuracy and gives us aimed shot. And it looks like I can actually click any of these. I'm guessing the green is just like the recommended. The throwing dagger is cool, don't get me wrong. It's extra damage. I don't know if it counts as a free action, though. It is a free action. It actually tells you on the tooltip. Okay, I'll take it then, because that's an extra damage. And then we have another level up over here for Joe Soul. I will probably go throw dagger on you as well, just because it's badass. And let's go ahead and pay the crew. It's payday, Captain. We owe $118 to our soldiers as their share for previous missions. What should we tell them? We will pay them right now. Salaries have been paid and the soldiers are satisfied. Your loyalty increases. All right, so we've got stations and pirate lairs. Yep, so this is one of the neutral things that we're allowed to go to in order to rest and resupply. If we got into a ship combat, which I don't actually know if ship combat has been implemented yet, but we could repair our ship here. We could upgrade it. Don't get used to this menu right here. I think the developer has said somewhere that he's going to completely overhaul like the station overlay or like the station interactions effectively, so that they're going to be changing and different as time goes along. And so anyways, we don't need to heal anybody. We do want to go to the market though, and I do think it's a good idea that we sell off some of this stuff. And so we've got medicine, rations, oxygen, live soil, anything or everything a colony or station needs. Yeah, let's go ahead and stack up on cash. Holo pads aren't really worth jack, but they can have all of them. And then we've got another cargo container that's full of consumer goods. I assume it's just a big box full of like washing machines or something. They can have it. We can upgrade our ship. There are things that we can install, although there's none listed here at this point. Judging from it looks like there's a little bit of a preview right here. The combat might be 3-dimensional with the spacecraft because it looks like we've got a horizontal ring to align like the X, the Y, and the Z axis. So like that might be kind of cool. Anyways, we're done here. There's not really a whole lot for us to do. If we wanted to hire new crew, we could get new guys here. We could upgrade our ship. We can go to the med bay just in case anybody's wounded. And in fact, it looks like 2 guys are missing 1 HP, so we'll heal them real fast. And that'll be that. Every system has at least 1 station and 1 hypergate. So yeah, that's how you go to the next level, is you got to get to the hypergate. I'm going to get this distress signal over here, though, before we go much further. We found the source of the signal, but it's an obsolete deep space probe that somehow still works. What is it? Probably human-made before the techno-sorcery drives were invented and even less advanced than the conventional folding drives. It was clearly used to explore the void, but its only use is conventional materials, so no refracted alloys nor ichor. Basically a relic. Okay. Well, I guess that's that then. Let's head on out of here. We have arrived at the hypergate of the system. Good. Prepare for jump. I was hoping there'd be like an animation with our ship being like pulling up to the gate and then like launching through, kind of like Battletech style. Jump successful. We have arrived in Lufea, Captain. This is a backwater system, so we probably won't find high-value targets here, but on the other hand, the colony shouldn't be heavily defended. We'll probably only encounter scavengers and refugees. All right, so there's a neutral station over here. There's an asteroid field over there. Let's go ahead and check this beacon real fast. We have a cargo ship. It's unarmed and trying to escape using sublight. All right, boarding party. Let's get them. It's time to do what you want because a pirate is free. Yar. We be coming aboard your ship. Yeah, we can still go with the same A-team. I don't see any reason to, like, mix it up. Very loud. There may be some amount of audio balancing that needs to be done here. I've been deafened. Deafened. All right, so boarding successful. Their jump drive has malfunctioned, so there is no time limit for subduing the ship. Eliminate the hostiles and the ship is yours. Okay, so let's take a look around the lay of the land real fast and just kind of see what we've got going on. It looks like we've come in somewhere near the drive field, effectively, so we're in engineering, and it looks like we're going to be cutting to the left here. So let's be careful about the way we approach. Oh. Okay. Fair enough. You get into cover. And if you could shoot a shot at somebody, I accept that. We don't really have a lot of high cover around here. I would love to have high cover, but the game does not appear to want to give me high cover. Alright. I could launch a rocket, but it looks like the rocket explosion is pretty small, and it's more than likely not going to accomplish the task that I would like to accomplish. What I need here is I'm going to need somebody on Overwatch to ensure that this guy does not get flanked. So I can't necessarily use all of my actions right now dealing damage. However, in order to keep this from being a high damage turn... Okay, big miss right there, big miss right there. He's double firing. That is a thing that you can do in this game, by the way, if you've been stationary the entire time. You can fire your guns twice. That guy's fallen back and he's gone into Overwatch. Okay, first shot missed. Second shot hit. That's a bummer. Healing is really expensive from what I've seen so far, and so anyways, I try not to do it. But the Overwatch shouldn't matter too much. I think he's outright flanked already, but we've got like a range penalty. And unfortunately, the spacing of a lot of the cover does not allow for smooth movement through the levels. That's something that I would look at maybe for the level design, is making sure that the cover spacing is sort of a little bit closer. I've noticed that when it comes to cover objects, they are almost universally spaced such that you have to double move in order to move in between covers. And I'm not exactly sure why that is, but it does make the game feel like it plays a lot less smooth. That's a long shot, but I'm going to take it. We hit it, and actually we one-shotted him with a crit, so I'll take it. Not bad. On this turn, I'd like to be over here. We're going to go ahead and fire at this guy. There it is, another crit, and he is now down. And we kind of want to steal this high cover, but we can't really get the cover without baiting that Overwatch shot with somebody. So I think what we'll do is we'll just position carefully for right now. Yeah, go for it. Why not? Hey, we didn't get the Overwatch shot. Nice. I actually fully expected to get shot right there. Okay. I will leave you guys where you're at. He's moving in, and he's got an Overwatch. However, the Overwatch shouldn't matter too much. We'll move to right here. I think he's still out of alignment, though. I don't think we can get him from where we're at. Yeah, he's just kind of Overwatch camping right now. Okay, we'll get everybody up behind high cover, and we'll just kind of wait and see what he does. We'll Overwatch him back.
On my way.
We're going to sprint to double move over here. I would like someone to cross the door, but I don't feel hopeful that it's going to help me out much. Give me an Overwatch right here.
In position.
I'm hoping he moves to actually combat a little bit. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. We're going to spend a turn to Rap Tap Bang, get everybody reloaded before we move on.
Reloading. Reloading.
There we go.
Reloading.
All right, everybody's reloaded. Let's get everybody up to better cover. And we can take a look and see what's going on in here. But I'm actually just going to bypass a turn. We do hear something, so the enemy is still remaining. Let's move up to high cover. Okay, high cover is achieved, and the enemy is surprised. Good. I prefer that they be surprised, so down goes that guy right there. Dude, I think that's like one of the death animations. Like, did you guys ever play Star Wars The Old Republic, like the MMO? That's what that death animation reminds me of right there. Like, when they get shot, just like the way that they fall back, it reminds me of the way that, like, the Republic troopers and stuff in that game would get shot and fall backwards. I don't know. That's what it stimulated inside my memory unit. All right. I'm just going to try to keep people in high cover. I play XCOM on Classic, and it's taught me certain undeniable rules about playing Vidya. And those rules are... stay in high cover, you idiot. Actually, it looks like we can double up on high cover over here. I did not expect that to be the case. I mean, I could get real brazen and leave this guy out of cover and run up and just shoot at that guy, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to focus on getting everybody into big shield, and then we'll worry about... I think that might be the last door right there. I don't know. Okay. I didn't expect a shot from back there. That was a pretty long round, but let's go ahead and focus on... let's get somebody flanked first and foremost. We want somebody on this flanking side, and we're really going to hope that there's nobody else over there. Actually, in fact, since both these guys are wounded, I'm going to have them both run that flank right there, because I don't think he can double move and get to us.
Moving into position.
And then what I'm going to do over here is, because movement is a little bit like lower and less rapid in this game than it is in XCOM, I'm going to actually center them up on this box, because I don't think he can get to us aside from double moving, so like why stress about it? We should be in an okay position now
On my way.
to flank this. And there's our hit and our flank and our kill. Okay. Everybody advance up. Okay, so we're set up on the door right now, ready to breach on into what I hope will be the bridge. So there it is. We have a drone that's alert, and we have a soldier that is not. If anybody has a rocket, now would be the time, because they are very close to one another. There it is. We missed out on the fireworks, though. Oh, man. Either way, we got 2 supplies, 2 cargo containers, so it looks like we made about 250 bucks, 300 bucks raiding this place. That'll keep our overhead paid. The cargo from the ship is loaded, and our men have returned to the ship. They have asked me to tell you that those filthy scavs had no chance. Good. It'd be embarrassing to lose to scavs. Let's get back to... actually, we're seeing more and more scavs every day. What's the deal with that? The hegemony is expanding its control to independent systems and colonies, so local criminals and desperate colonists and miners are trying to survive by joining scavenger crews and gangs. If the Pirates Guild wasn't so strict with its recruitment, maybe we could take advantage of this. Maybe, but we got problems. Let's get back to it. Okay. So yeah, like, I like the idea of this game. Like, where you've got, like, this open world right here. It might be kind of interesting if there was, like, a larger war going on, and since we're, like, pirates and whatnot that are trying to achieve our goals, like, throwing in your lot with various factions and getting access to, like, their specialized classes, you know what I mean? Like, doing trade runs, things of that nature. I mean, I feel like the more features, the better the game is gonna do, because that's what's really gonna distinguish this game from like XCOM, is the stuff that happens on the in-between the battles, because the battles are pretty much what you've already seen from XCOM. Let's go ahead and sell some of this stuff off just to make sure we got a lot of money inside the old bank account. We got people that do need to be healed, so that's gonna be 50 bucks off. Inside the market, it looks like we can purchase a frag grenade. We can get a nanomed injector. Okay. So you heal 3 HP. It looks like there's some new guns inside of here. combat shotguns. We've got a triple-barreled shrapnel gun, a fire blade, a breaching pod that is used allows up to 5 soldiers to perform a breaching action. Okay. I like the idea of the nanomed injector and a frag grenade. Hopefully those aren't single use. I don't know if they get replenished in between fights. I guess we'll find out the easy way or the hard way. We do have some people that we can hire over here. And so this guy's name is Meat Shield. It looks like we need a certain amount of fame, though, in order to hire him. Okay. Are there any ship upgrades here? Doesn't look like it. So I'm guessing most of the ship stuff might not be totally implemented. I mean, inside the market, we did see the breaching pod, and it seems like that would let us fire 5 guys into enemy ships instead of 4. So I think that might be a worthwhile investment. Yeah, go ahead and do it. So we've got a breaching pod now. Our squad size is 5. Even better. Sounds good. We don't have a lot of money to mess around with, but this is Void Marauders. The game is obviously in its infancy, and the combat, I think, they've got the sound effects nice and chunky. I think they've got the unit feedback when you click on them. The voiceovers are neither irritating nor grating. They sound just fine. I like the art style of like the things that they've got going on inside the menus or whatever. I do think that the ability to basically even out some VSync and whatnot would be nice. So the options menu is pretty limited. I would like to see the option to have VSync in there. I would like to see the option to adjust the brightness and the contrast just because certain areas of the game do seem over contrasted. And then aside from that, it's like a really, really early on project. So it's available now on Steam for $10 if you wanted to back the game. At this point, obviously, there's a lot of features and things that are missing. However, I think, like, the combat is good. It actually feels solid. Like, it does feel like a really, really decent recreation of XCOM, effectively. And in fact, I think it does some things better than XCOM when it comes to the angularities of shots or whatever. That, however, being said, I think what's going to distinguish this game is the things that happen on the in-between the combat. So if the combat ends up being the mainstay of the game, I think it's probably going to struggle a little bit because other games like Phoenix Point and XCOM have already done it, and they've done it in a more polished way. However, I think if they can get that overworld map and the things that you do on the in-between of combat to be a lot more interesting and have, like, trade runs in between stations and, like, interactions with factions and, like, missions that have, like, storylines and things like that for the various factions, I think this is something that could actually really, really pop and I think resonate with people. So anyways, my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today we were looking at Void Marauders. Tomorrow we will be looking at something else. Thank you for hanging out, and I will be back later. Bye, everybody.